Yeah, we'll go ahead and get started. Don comes in. All right, so I'll call the meeting to order at 6 o'clock, 1800 hours. We're gonna just go over rules and regulations. Is that what you had decided on last time?
I think that's all we were
And gonna
scheduled.
go over those and try to amend those and or accept them, however we decide to do it.
I sent out a draft on April 1st, I think, in anticipation of this meeting for everybody to take a look at. And I said I had typed them up for my notes plus we had already.
Jay, is this your?
Let me in.
You need another copy?
I do actually.
Ask them to run them off. Yeah. Ah, yes. Here he comes.
Here's the gimp. I try not to run. How was vacation?
I was bored after 3 days.
It's not easy being you.
Really?
Sitting doing nothing.
Sitting
Yeah.
on a boat, doing nothing.
No, I was at a pool, at the bar.
Gotta learn to drink more.
7 days is a long stretch of doing nothing.
Yeah.
She's running out of copies.
Okay, of what we're gonna go over? Okay, perfect. We'll wait for those to come back and I like the order of business, roll call by the clerk. Clerk's doing a roll call. Anyone not here?
Yeah, speak up now.
Speak up now. I don't think we need to go over the minutes of the previous meeting. We know what happened. And we're working on unfinished business.
Well,
You said that email was April 1st?
yeah, I think that was the email that I looked at. I think it was.
I've got Kristen running off a couple copies if you need one.
I left mine somewhere.
It'll be easier to read than on your phone. Christie's making copies of this.
Good. I didn't think I did internet.
Good luck. We are still in Croydon.
I know. It's only a year and a half out. Is that what I'm hearing?
Oh, Jesus, I don't know. I don't know if it'll ever happen in my lifetime.
Would be nice.
So we're waiting for those. We have chairperson, vice chairperson, clerk. Did we make a decision on when we were gonna appoint the positions?
Elect them.
Elect them and
Yeah, April.
April.
April, it does say April on here.
This is kind of near the end of April.
So let's do it tonight?
Yeah.
Perfect. Let's make it official, the end of each April. Your term runs to the last April. You have to have it every April.
I believe that's your original, sir.
Well, it's not, gotta be close enough.
Is this only one? Sorry. Gonna have to split them up.
Oh, they all go random?
No, there are some of them in order. They just came out.
They didn't come out
Peeling them
collated.
out like a poker, sorry.
Poker.
Yeah, really.
Well, this page one is missing.
This is page.
No, this
one.
was the one that came out of the zoning.
4, 5, 6. Interesting. I thought I had them all.
Well, you know what? So did I. But I had to go.
Unless this
I had
is
to go-
unless this is 1 and 2.
No, this is one.
Is it?
Right.
Oh, okay, yeah, then I got 1 and 2 right here.
Okay.
All right, perfect. I got them all. Stapler here with us.
One right out there.
Okay. So we decided we are gonna do April. We'll say the last Wednesday of the month for now, shall be elected. And is each position only for a year, or is the chairperson 3, vice chair 2, or clerk? How are we gonna work that? It says she'll be elected annually, but.
Right,
So,
Yeah.
so each person's just gonna hold a position for 1 year.
right,
We have
Okay.
no more than 2 appointments in any 1 3-year term.
right.
So,
That's, that's what the zoning ordinance says and the statute says. But yeah, that's an appointment to the board, not an election of an officer.
oh. I think that ought to be annual.
Yeah. Yeah, because you're gonna have new people coming on. And it doesn't mean that whoever is in office can't get reelected, it's just, you won't have to impeach them during the year.
Stranger things have happened.
I know. It's Croydon. Wait a minute, did I say that? That was Ed that said that,
Members for
Yeah.
up to 5 alternate members. You have a hard enough time just getting 5 members. Why not? Well,
Up to, yeah.
right, okay.
I mean, we could have that many.
3 and you'll be happy.
Right.
And actually, Grantham's zoning rules of procedure call for 3, but the suggested one by the municipal association has 5. So if it's up to 5,
Why not?
yeah, because it's 5 of us, so if you have
Right.
5 alternates, then.
Hopefully one of
One,
us can be at the meeting
Right,
for
yeah.
alternates.
Yes.
All right, so anybody have any thoughts or questions on alternate members then? I'll kind of quickly read it. Are they allowed to vote if they're filling in for somebody?
Yes.
Okay, but just not,
That's why,
otherwise they're not.
that's why it's recommended they attend every meeting.
Right, so they know what's going on. Okay. That's where blah, blah, blah. Okay, I'm good with that one. If you guys are. All right, meetings, regular meetings. I think should do some type of regular meeting. I can't write down I don't see what we wrote here.
Yeah, I know.
A regular meeting, it doesn't have to be every month, but not just every time someone wants something.
Well, the statute doesn't require us to meet except as an application. You could set a regular meeting, or I suppose, and then say, well, we don't have anything to do, so we're gonna cancel it. But I don't know what the purpose of setting.
Once we catch up with all this language, unless somebody has something going on, so I would recommend you do like once a quarter.
That's what I was just thinking. At least 4 times a year.
And then
Even if we just
Just
take
so we-
out the
you
half
say
an hour, or say,
nothing,
right, did anything come up with anybody? Because I know a lot of people approach me now and then. I'm sure I bet they approach you now and then and ask you questions, and who knows? So
I mean, I'd be
I
happy.
agree with that one. I would like,
A mandatory once a quarter.
Yeah.
Just
All
to
right.
be regular.
January,
April, July, October, and January.
yeah, January. So would you say January, April, July?
Yep.
So,
July.
yeah.
Oh,
In October.
actually,
I mean, it would be the 4th week of July,
what about
right?
Right, I wonder if we should do August instead, because I know July, usually everyone's got something going on or on vacation.
It was August.
August is
all true.
July and August are the two.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
All right, we'll
I'm not
stick with
gonna
July,
lie.
like you said, we can always cancel this meeting.
Yep.
And then, November?
October.
October, okay.
And it
Oh,
would
yeah,
be-
it's January, okay.
It would be on the first Wednesday.
No, because that's when planning
Planning
board, I'm
board,
assuming, will
no.
continue doing there, so
So
what, you guys want to stick to the fourth Wednesday of the month? So it's all
That works
end of the
better for you,
month?
right?
weren't we the third? I
We
changed.
were the
it.
third,
Oh,
yeah.
you
We
did?
were at the
So
third,
now my Opera House meetings are the second.
Second, right.
which is fine because that's my training night.
So it works better for you.
I can't do the second Wednesday of the month
Yeah,
either.
so third,
So third or the fourth.
Third or the fourth.
wouldn't make any difference to me. I don't,
Me
I
either.
don't,
Let's do
I don't think the, so we got,
Oh,
we got
no, I
January.
usually have poker that night, that's why.
No.
a double session.
It's only a
I
couple
wanna hear
times.
more
a year.
about that.
Okay.
The only thing with October,
Third Wednesday of the month.
all right, I was gonna say, the only thing with October is Halloween tends to be towards the end of the month, right? So, could be on a.
You're quick. Well, maybe we'll hand out candy then.
All right, third one.
Maybe we should just eat it all.
So should we just make a note that these will automatically be posted?
They'll be on the website anyway.
Yeah.
You still have to have a posting.
Right, I was gonna say, that's not considered posted like on the board, right?
So it would still require a formal posting.
Right, which
Okay,
is not a problem.
I was gonna say, it's not a problem, with the exception of the fact that if we all of a sudden just decide to cancel, we're gonna have to make sure that message got, because someone may wanna just show up to do a public speaking of some sort.
But that can be posted on, supposedly this website's gonna get started and
Right,
you have a posting and when they come in.
Mhm.
We're
We
posting right now, 5 days, 10 days.
10 days, it's supposed to be 10 days.
So that's when this would be posted anyway, and if it
Well, it only has to be 24 hours.
deemed, you don't need one, it doesn't get posted.
Because that's what I'm putting one up right now or afterwards, saying, here's our next 4 meetings. And it's
Right.
closer to the year, and
Yep.
I keep remembering it.
But it has to be within so many days of the meeting, doesn't it?
Yeah, it only has to be
24
within
hours.
24 hours.
A special meeting is 10 days, I think.
Okay,
At 6 PM, is that,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like the 6 PM one, honestly.
Me too. Better than 7.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, it gives me time to get out of here and then go finish doing more stuff.
right.
Okay, quorum.
All right, so it's just gonna be, regular meeting shall be held on the third Wednesday of January, April, July, October at 6 PM.
Yep.
Correct.
And we're gonna leave out the part about, I mean, we gotta, I think. we
Oh,
need
and
to-
or special request.
Right.
Or special request. We have to have special meetings by appointment, because if we get a request for a variance or something, we've got to.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Oh, that's what I meant by special
Oh, okay.
request, however you want to word it, I guess.
Wasn't there also something in the last meeting that you mentioned about having or at the call 2 other members?
Yeah, and I did put, I think that is in there. I actually added it in there.
Yeah.
The call of the chairperson
Yeah.
or 2 other member, or any 2 members. Provide public notice. And notice to each member is given. So I don't know whether you want to make that in addition to those 4 meetings. I mean, I probably need to have something in there if we need to meet in between those.
Correct, right. That's why I was saying, that we will be holding 4 meetings, unless it's a special request for a variance,
Well, but we might,
additional meetings can be made.
but we might,
just a regular scheduled meetings is what that ought to be,
Right.
put it as.
but if we need to do something, if there's no request for a variance or a special exception or anything from the public, but we think we need to meet, we gotta wait until July or October.
No, we just
So,
talk to each other and if we want to meet.
Well, that's why I said it at the call
So if,
So in addition to those 4 times a year,
so if Chris and I said, hey, somebody approached us, we get a hold of you, you contact.
Right.
Can we meet, blah, blah, blah? Yeah, you throw it on the website, and you post it.
Right. So I wonder if we should have a 1 or a 1A or something. So 1 is regular meetings, how you have it printed, and a 1A is, by special request for variance, a meeting can be scheduled.
well, I'm talking about if we get a
This is just
variance or a
us.
special exception, we've got to meet anyway,
Right.
no matter what.
He's talking about if we decide,
Yeah.
Oh, just to meet.
yeah, this is something we
Do
saw,
something like
some
this.
language has to be
Okay.
changed.
Would that really have to be put in there?
Well,
What?
somebody would say.
I mean, well, if you're
"Ah,
gonna
this
do,
is- So you can't. keep
right,
it on
yeah.
the board for not showing
there's
up.
or there's,
So under a 1A, so it was variances and or per request of the zoning chairman can schedule a meeting, an unscheduled meeting, and it will be posted.
or want to just leave it up to the chairman period?
Yeah.
Or, because I thought it was,
Any two
again,
members?
yeah, that if the chairman said, I don't think we should be calling it, and everybody else does, then we don't meet. So I'm just thinking that if 2 members of the board meet, and right now you're the chairman, you say,
Right.
I don't want to meet. And we all say, well, I think we really need to meet to do this, this, and this. Say, well, this says it's a call of the chair, and I'm not calling it. So we're gonna
Okay.
meet.
I think you should leave the language as it was, as 2 or more.
Yeah.
2 or more
Yeah.
members. Yeah, that's fine.
And those 2 members obviously have to make sure they contact everybody. So
Well, yeah. It says, just still says provided the public notice, and notice to each member is given. So we've got January, April, July, October, or the 3rd Wednesday of January,
Yeah.
6
October, or at the call of the chairperson or any 2 members.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and again, I think, yeah, I just put it that way. And that way, because if anybody comes up to any of us and says, hey, I need to get a variance for this kind of thing, then again, you get a hold of me and I call a special meeting for it.
Yep.
Simple as that. Okay. I'm just quickly reading through the quorum. I don't see anything wrong with quorum. Anybody else doesn't?
I think we went over the whole thing.
Yeah.
Well, we went over first 2 pages
2 pages for
back
sure.
in wherever it was.
The last meeting
February or
we had.
something. And then in March, we went over the rest of it.
June 29th.
June
Did I write that down, Robin? I did write that down.
Only April now.
Time flies, doesn't it?
Wow.
How much did you drink on that cruise anyway?
February 29th.
Well, there's some qualification. If any member finds it necessary to disqualify
February.
himself for drinking, I mean,
February
I
5th,
corrected that.
February 15th is when we met initially.
2:15, then we met on
Okay,
It's
we
been
met on
329,
January
2:29.
18th.
That was-
329.
That's the one I did. I doubled it.
Okay.
okay, so disqualifications. Any questions there?
Nope.
Order of business.
Can't really change that. That's Robert's rules.
Right.
Well, except there's, at the bottom, it does say that if there's something unusual is going on, we may wish to change the order immediately after the roll call.
Okay, so I'm good with that. Long week.
Thanks for time.
Are we keeping you awake, Jason?
Yeah.
Lucky it's 6
I
o'clock and not
haven't
7.
stopped since Monday, so. Applications. I think we were good with that one.
So on the next page, on the top, when we get into the application, so paid, blah, 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 we got into discussion of charging fees for those applications. And I think we left it that we thought that the select board should set those fees.
I'm glad you brought that up. As far as fees go, do we have fees posted
No.
out here or online?
No.
Nothing yet.
That's
I believe the only fee you have is if you're building a house.
driveway permits. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, and you have the dump.
Oh, is there a
fees.
fee for, well, yeah, dump fees, but.
So,
There should be a tear
so
sheet.
there, we need, the town needs to
Yep.
post all fees associated with any permitting.
Yep.
Anything that's gonna be done like that, and it should be done sooner rather than later.
Well, because we can't charge them if they're not posted.
Right.
But we, as a zoning board, we don't get involved in that. We just get the application.
Yep.
It's the town and the clerk's office that collects any fees, whatever
So you're
whatever selectmen may.
So on C, what's the top one on
Okay,
page 4.
so that's basically they're paying for.
Right.
So
Okay.
the zoning board probably should send a letter, so it's official, or give a letter to the selectmen saying, we recommend you charge fees for these, whatever you're gonna charge.
Yeah,
And that needs to be posted and published on the website.
right. Yeah. Do we give a recommendation of what that cost should be, or is that up to?
I think that should be up to the selectmen, they're the ones that deal with the budget. You know, if all of a sudden it starts to cost them a lot for the zoning board, they go, we're not charging enough, we gotta,
Mhm.
that trip we take to Vegas every year is expensive.
Do we incur any costs to do this? You just put up an announcement, stick it in the,
Not really, per se, just a little bit of time and some paper. And then it's up to,
There's a lot of cost here, I brought that,
well,
and there is
true,
money, by the way, I
true.
will go over that with you.
Yeah.
I mean, to heat this place, to light this place,
Yeah.
everybody has a meeting here, there's a cost.
And it's up to the resident to send out a certified letter to all his neighboring
Yep.
people.
those are on him.
Variances.
That's on them, right.
That's on them. Right. So unless we mess up, which we almost kind of did with Tom, we were gonna have to eat the cost of sending out that letter the second time. Wouldn't be bad to have some type of charge in there, yeah, to cover some costs when we do come across a few.
I mean, I don't think it should be less than $25.
Well, again, I think the select board
Yep.
should set that, and
Yeah.
they have to weigh in all these different things.
Right, right. Including our annual meetings.
Yep.
I mean, pay for it somehow. That's,
But on the other side, this has to be heated regardless we have a meeting or
It
not.
has to be heated to keep it from freezing, but doesn't have to be, turned up to 70, so we're not biting our nails to stay warm.
Right.
Yeah.
Were you involved in any of those conversations? I was recommending that there was a bunch which Jane did, and I would be putting it together for some kind of an expansion for the police department at that time. Talked about getting into this driveway, put a small meeting. Easy to heat, and you can hear. I
Yeah,
mean, the select board meetings, I was listening to that the other night, and I'm like, this hall is not.
yeah, this high ceiling is
It's good, it's perfect acoustically.
Right,
For an opera.
Yeah.
exactly. Anyway,
Okay, moving on. All right, so, yeah, we'll make a note to the selectmen about, or I'll make a note. You're making a note.
As far as fee scheduling and
Yes.
posting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on my radar.
All right.
Okay.
That's a G-Wagon.
Must be that big Mercedes SUV out there.
Yeah, that's a G-Wagon. V8.
Okay, in our public hearings for variance, if it's not one of our quarterly meetings, that's strictly the only reason we're having a meeting, correct? Is just for that variance, not to discuss other, okay.
Other business.
Well, we could, but we'd have to notice it as something
Right,
in addition
right.
to the variance or special exception.
Okay, I don't see anything under public hearing. Decisions.
Yeah, that's
Personally, I disagree with 90 days.
But that's in the statute.
well, right. And the other thing is you don't have to wait 90 days.
Oh, no, okay,
Yeah.
you're right.
So
We could wait up to
Right.
90.
Yeah.
Within 90 days.
the
Okay.
reason I think that's in the statute.
Okay.
Run into a pickle and you got small towns like ours that usually meet once a month. And I think that's why they wrote it.
Yeah, okay, all right. That's fine then. That one. Good with number 6. Speak up.
Because you can assign it.
Yeah. Number 7, okay.
I would say on number, well, after 8 records,
Yeah,
I think we should be arranging this like ASAP to have the stuff in here. So somewhere along the line, we don't get caught.
I mean,
Yeah.
Supposed to have the records in the clerk's office. And so whatever minutes we have to this point and stuff.
Right.
yeah, I gotta, yeah, that's something I gotta work on. I have a better 2-drawer filing cabinet I gotta dig out of my storage unit, clean it out, bring it down here.
That was a
Last night.
little bit of a discussion last night.
Right.
We do have to get all the records
Yep.
that are up for public review
Right.
here at town hall. That way they can be given in a timely fashion.
We got the rat
Whether- I
can.
mean, if somebody's on vacation and
4 years
records are
ago?
locked up at their place or
Yeah.
that's not gonna fly. We're gonna be held accountable for
No.
that.
We got the rat can about 4 years ago at one of the town meetings because one of the treasurer was taking money home
Right.
about 4 years ago and the state was not
Yeah.
happy with us.
Right.
in the audit, yeah.
It was even in the book
Yeah.
the following year,
Yeah.
on the
That's
audit.
right.
So I think that's a sooner rather than later kind of thing.
Yeah, because we're gonna put in all this other paperwork that we have for appeals and decisions and stuff like that, so we'll keep better records. Yeah, so that is.
I don't know, is there anything that anybody has at home that,
Not me.
so,
Pretty much these 2 books, that's it.
well, I mean, yeah, it's,
And all Chris would have is the minutes.
Right.
Minutes, but according to law, they belong, or at least a copy belongs
Yeah,
here. So,
and it's supposed to be within 5 days.
yeah, well, this board
Those,
has
those
not,
don't have to be approved minutes.
So,
They just
well, I
have to
mean,
be
right.
Draft.
It's
on-site
gotta be within
draft.
5 days.
As long as it's stamped draft.
Yep.
Right.
That's fine, but there
The problem we
should
have
be
here is
something
we-
here.
the problem we have here is the zoning board and the planning board have not been real boards for well over 10 years. Well over, because I've been doing some board years back. So we need to get
Mm-hmm.
a board functioning the way
Yep.
it should be.
We're working,
Set an example.
Yeah,
we're working on
We're
it. I
trying.
mean, I think it's coming along pretty well
Yep,
for
I
what it
agree.
was.
I do too.
okay, Bruce, being a lawyer and all.
How much you charging?
Yeah, right.
Now, Robert's Rules of Order used to say that the chairperson of a committee could only vote to break a tie. Is that still the case?
Believe it.
It's a recommendation, and that's what I have in my moderator rules,
Okay.
is that I'm not voting unless it's either gonna create a tie or break a tie.
Right, so in this case, Jason should only vote, and the reason for that is influence.
Well, I don't think it'll work here, because then,
He's not voting.
right, you don't vote,
Yeah, you don't,
and there's 5 of us,
so
So,
he would
right,
vote, if
well,
it was a 2-2, he would
so-
cast his vote.
you would vote to
Right.
create a tie or break a tie. Well, you
The
couldn't
purpose that
couldn't
was,
create a tie, I guess, if there's 5 of us, but you can break a tie if it was 2-2.
but if I remember right, the purpose of that was to have the chairperson who was in charge not have an influence until basically the last.
Well, except that the chairperson is a member of the board.
Oh, yeah, but they say he can vote, but
Right.
he should be the deciding, if it comes to that.
Mhm.
I mean, if it's already 3,
Because, right.
Right. Well, so that would go back on voting then, right?
that's 6 on the same page.
Yeah. On the back, it's on the back of my.
Oh, it's on
page.
this, okay. You got a double-sided copy?
Yeah.
Must have been us trying to save money. Um, All right, so there is, but, okay, we'd go under 6, but
Yeah, page
There's-
5, number 6 is voting on page 5.
so what would you want to add where?
Oh, I don't think we have to add anything, that's just,
Just,
that's
okay.
in
just-
Robert's Rules of Order, and I just,
I think it was
Well,
confirmation,
and we try to
clarity.
follow Robert's Rules of Order. I mean, the state now says, well, Robert's Rules of Order are confusing, so try
They're too
to step
formal.
back and keep it simplified, but they still want you to follow the basic layout.
Well, and the problem with what we would like to do is if it's not in here, then the chairperson can say, I mean, there's no reason for the chairperson to vote, I guess, unless it's gonna break a tie anyway.
Right.
You can say, I'm gonna vote anyway and make it, it's 4 to, instead of 3-1, I'm gonna make it 4-1, but it doesn't say I can't vote.
Right. Well, the other way around, a lot of little sticky things like that, probably at the beginning of this, we should say that we will try to follow the recommendation of the Robert's Rules of Order or operate within the guidelines of Robert.
Well, if you say you're gonna try, that means you can
Well,
deviate
guide-
from them whenever you
Yeah,
want, so.
yeah. So you can
Doesn't
say we're
help.
gonna operate within the guidelines of Robert's Rules of Order. That gives you room.
Well, I don't know if you want to put some specific language in
No, I think we get away with it that simple. We're just gonna have to find a place to put it.
there. Well,
Hey, don't be breaking my stuff. Come on. Jesus.
Little bugger. I'm not gonna walk home without that.
Circle.
What is,
Hey, you can put it right under authority.
what is the appeal period for reconsideration? Is that the 90 days? Because it's probably.
nope,
That's
that's,
30.
yeah, that is,
Yeah, they have 30 days to.
yeah, I think it's 30 days. That's in the statute again, but,
Yeah, it's
but,
somewhere.
yeah,
in
it
here.
is
I saw
30.
that.
Number 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's not the public hearing will be held.
rehearing.
No, I still,
Yeah.
where's
Yeah,
that? Get,
reconsideration.
Public notice. Public hearing.
I didn't see it.
Let's see.
Let me slide a little bit more to the right.
I'll just put this down, you don't cause any commotion. That's where I tried to put it.
Where I saw it.
Play nice now.
Because I was looking in the paragraph with the 90 days, but I didn't see anything stated about the period for reconsideration.
It might be that same paragraph, though.
Applications.
Right.
Appeals from an
Filed
administrative
within
decision
30
taken
days.
under RSA 675-5 shall be filed within 30 days.
Right.
Recommended.
That's an appeal.
Yeah, that's what he was talking
Yeah,
about.
that was the appeal
An
for reconsideration. Yep.
Right.
That's what I was referring to.
Of the decision.
Well, there's a difference between an appeal and a reconsideration. A reconsideration just goes back in front of the board. An appeal is going to go to the court.
Yeah, but I was asking for the appeal period. That's what they're using
Okay.
for the period for reconsideration.
All right, okay, all right.
Thank you.
All right, is there any other questions on A5? Page. Oh, good, joint meetings. We can have a meeting with the inspector of buildings.
Inspector who?
Inspector of buildings. Any other land use board, I don't know.
Well, it says including planning board, historic district, commission, building code appeals, and inspector.
Buildings, okay, yeah. Yep.
Now we're voting on this whole package.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, well, we're certainly going to vote on the rules of procedure, and then
Right.
part of the rules of procedure talks about whatever it is, the forms. On page 3, all forms prescribed here revisions shall be adopted by resolution of the board and should become a part of these rules. Well, okay, so we don't have to adopt the rules
Right.
tonight.
All right, but we do want to make a motion to vote to adopt these, correct? As with changes that we've made.
Yep. Yeah, well, I think the only one we made was in the meeting, the regular meetings.
I'll make the motion.
And I don't know, Dom was talking about, the chairperson not voting unless it's to break a tie. You
But
can't-
we don't have to put that in there. It's already in Robert's Rules of Order. It's a matter of just trying to operate within the guidelines of it. Unless they've rewritten Robert's Rules of Order. I mean, I have a,
No, I think
Gold
it's the same,
one.
because the fire department, we do the same thing. Chief doesn't vote unless it's tie
it's
factor.
considered an influential vote, is what it's considered. So that's why they have to wait till last. But I don't think we have to put that in.
Okay. All right with me.
So I'll
We can always
second,
amend
I'll
them later
second
on.
Brenda's motion. How's that sound? But I won't hold on. In case two of you say yes, two of you say no. Then I'm gonna-
We haven't adopted these rules yet, so they don't apply until after.
Oh.
No, but that's what my motion's for.
I have no,
To accept as what, changed?
As written with our changes.
In
Okay.
the language of the regular
Yeah,
meetings.
there's language. So, any questions?
no,
All those in favor?
I,
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it, so we'll adopt this
Yay.
rules and regulations with changes that we've made. And just,
So that's
if any,
four, Jason didn't vote?
I did not vote, so straight for.
He seconded it, but he didn't vote.
If anybody wants to look at these, I have appeal from administrative decision, application for special exemptions, different forms for people to fill out when they do want to have a waiver or when our decision is made. I'm going to make a bunch of copies of these.
Don't we have those?
Okay, I have,
Yeah.
I
They're in separate files.
think Russell's already have.
Yeah, I had sent those out with everything else.
Yeah, but like, they're not here though.
Right.
No access for
Oh, right.
Paul to get them. That's what I'm saying. So I'm gonna make a copy of a whole bunch of these, get the cabinet over here, and I'll make a file of each one so he can, if something comes in, and says,
So we want to take a vote to adopt those forms then?
Yeah,
We're gonna
I,
be giving
Yeah.
them out.
Sure.
yeah,
Yep.
we can always have
Make
a
a
meeting
motion
to
to
change it.
adopt the forms.
Second.
any question on the forms? All in favor?
I,
Aye.
Any opposed?
Okay, so I would like to recommend to do that your letter to the select board to advise you about charging,
Yes.
and also put in a letter that these will officially be in up to date,
Right.
just so we have a paper trail.
Yep.
You know, we gave it to you guys, it's up to you guys to do the deal.
Can you repeat that real quick? You're
Uh,
recommending,
Well, I'm recommending that the chairman write a letter to the selectmen, letting them know that we feel fees should be charged, and obviously that's up to them. And that Jason is going to leave a copy of all these forms for applications in the office. They may have a spot right there already, Jason.
There's probably a rack in there for the zoning board.
There is two drawers in there, but they're this big. They're the huge drawers. The cabinets are useless to me. I, a normal one that neatly fit in, and they're just filled with.
Yeah, because it's not-
I went through them once already, and I threw away a lot of stuff that was just
yeah.
duplicates and duplicates of.
And it was all very old, I'm sure.
Yeah.
photographs, I think some of them were.
Yeah, yeah. So I cleaned them out, but I don't know what's in the top two drawers, but if they can consolidate some of those, I think some of those bigger cabinets ought to just go and put some normal ones in there myself, but.
Want to get back to the forms just for a minute.
Okay.
We adopted the forms. I don't, the only ones that are, I mean, I guess you could make them available to everybody if they want to see what forms we use. But the only ones that are going to apply to the public are the application forms, the decision forms that we use.
Yeah, they wouldn't need those, access to those, eh?
Yeah, but I like the decision forms because I want, when we make a decision, I want to put it into the file of that person that was asking for a
But
variance.
what I'm saying is the forms that are going to be available out front for the public they don't need, yes, we need to use those forms, but the public doesn't need those forms.
They're not going to be out front.
Okay, well, I thought you said you were going to put all those forms out front.
No. But I'm gonna make a bunch of copies of these forms, put them in our filing cabinet, in a filing cabinet labeled, and then Paul, if someone comes in and asks for a variance, he can go to the zoning board cabinet file, pull these out and, pull out the right.
Or he can pull out, we can make extras of the applications and just give him
Yeah.
a call. He can put them in whatever
Yeah.
place he wants to put them, so he doesn't have to go out back and look for them.
Do you, I'm sorry, I was curious. Do you all care to make those available online for people to print off and then bring here with their fee as well? That way, I mean, it may
Save
be.
a step.
Save you a little bit of a headache, a little bit of public involvement, and it might streamline things a little bit.
That's a good idea.
I mean, I think if you just
You
put it
can
in a
put them right
PDF,
on the new website.
if you put it in a PDF form, they could scan it right in there. It would be in PDF form. They could print it out at their house, return it here with a fee.
Right,
They don't have to come here to pick anything up.
right.
So I think that would just be a good idea.
The way
But
the world's heading.
I think you guys may have to make a motion to make them available online. I don't know for
Well, I'll make a motion to make those.
I don't know how
forms
that-
Available online.
There's nothing wrong with making the motion. If we don't need it, we don't need it.
Right.
Yeah.
It's done.
So I'll second that.
All those in favor of making them available online?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Who seconded that?
I did.
Bruce.
Yeah, now you identified me.
Sorry.
All right, so we have,
Well, I think now we need to elect officers because it's the last meeting in April.
yes, it's true. That's right. Who wants to be chairman?
Nominate Dominic DiMaggio.
Well, you caught me by surprise on that. Nothing against you, Dom. I'm just asking a question. Is there any, because I know sometimes like in the fire department, no one can hold an officer position till after a certain amount of time on the board or anything. Is there anything like that in this?
Well, that's
Can
my,
someone join?
there isn't, but that is a reasonable concern.
Right.
And I don't have experience on zoning board. I have experience on the planning board and others.
Neither did I, so I got thrown right into it. I mean, I have no issues about it. I just questioning that because I know
So-
it has happened in other places like.
Oh, yeah, no, I don't believe there's any state regulations on that.
In general, I don't know how it, this is just from what I understand, from doing research on my own. Generally, it would go to the longest, it's suggested that it goes to the longest serving or, I'll shut up now. I'll
But
shut
you
up.
can deny it. You can deny it.
Generally, that would be the logical suggestion. It would either go to the most experienced, meaning the longest serving, or the person whose term would last the longest.
Well,
I
that's
believe
I'm in
that.
and I'm out on that one.
So your situation here is Chris is the longest, and he's the only longest, because everybody else here is relatively new.
Yeah, I understand.
Chris doesn't want it.
My quite reservation would be my availability.
Well, nobody's nominated you, so don't
Oh,
worry
good.
about it.
No, I was just pointing out what I read as far as,
Yeah.
typical,
Now that you've said that, that also is a concern of clerk, because if I'm reading this right, there's a lot to the clerk position. Is it that clerk that's responsible to accept applications and bring them to the meetings? It reads that it's this
Yeah,
clerk.
right.
So there's a whole other facet of timeliness. Clerks.
So I would think this clerk is allowed to
Handle.
receive the application in fee and then, put it in an envelope, put it in the zoning.
So they would have
Box.
to notify me that one had come in,
Right.
Yes.
and that's fine, but to be here and receive them and all that other stuff.
Well,
Like I said, I don't mind checking.
If you receive them, you can check in the box but somebody's gonna have to check in the box anyway, whether it's you, the clerk who accepts them, or that clerk, town clerk that accepts them and then puts them in the zoning box, bin, whatever it is.
I mean, you could make a designated day of the week that you check whatever bin as well, and just make sure that it's noted that when you return your application, that your however many days may not start until that day
Well, we gotta make a decision within 90 days of the application, so we.
of the date.
But, yeah,
Okay, so
you
yeah,
know.
I mean, as long
If
as,
we all die, it'll be within 90 days.
Like, yeah.
All right, so I guess if there's no question about that, then my question to you would be, do you accept?
What?
What?
What? I,
Go ahead, what's your opinion?
well, my opinion is there hasn't been any second. Um,
Oh, this is true.
um, I would nominate Jason, as chairman again. I think he's put a lot of time in it and he's got you know, we all seem to work well together. But anyway, I'd nominate Jason.
I will second that.
We don't need to second that.
We don't? Okay.
The nomination? Yeah, it's a motion to,
Okay. I thought you just said you didn't have to.
no, I said there was no second.
Nominations, I think you have to.
A second?
He was stating that Dom's nomination hadn't seconded,
Oh,
is what I believe Bruce was
Yep.
saying.
So if that's it, then you're it.
Well, we still got to
Yeah,
vote.
we still gotta vote.
You can't vote.
Two,
No,
say yes.
Well, no.
You may say no.
I
Because I don't vote anyway.
But I wasn't seconded, so there is no vote.
True. No, here's the thing. I don't second either. This is
No.
your discussion.
Yeah.
Right, you're just.
Yeah, no, I'm just here for moral
Input,
support.
yeah.
Moral support and input. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. I have no say in any of this. So I'm just stepping back.
All right, so I accept. So then I take a vote, even though I'm the only one?
Well, you wait and see whether you get elected, then you can decide whether you want to accept. If you don't get elected, you don't have to worry about accepting.
Well, no, you can deny
your nomination.
your nomination. You can say, thank you, but no, I decline my nomination. You can do that right off before there's even a vote, so that just saves a step from voting. But I won't deny it.
So should we go down? I mean, you got, the chairman, you've got,
Vice
Clerk.
chair.
So we
Vice
want
chair.
to vote
So-
whether or not to elect Jason as chairman.
Right, so all those in favor as myself as chairman for 1 year.
Under our new rules.
Under our new rules, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Abstentions?
You didn't oppose. All right, now we'll go for vice chair.
Oh, I think we ought to keep Bruce Jasper as vice chair. Guess he does a fabulous job.
I'll second that.
What a kiss up.
All those in favor for Bruce to be vice chairman?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Clerk?
I'm going to abstain.
I would
For myself.
nominate Dom if he's interested.
I would second that.
I'm sorry, where are we?
Clerk.
Clerk, okay.
oh, clerk, we're on clerk? What? Oh, you're trying to pass that one on?
Yeah.
I worry about my time on this.
This way you can step up the ladder.
I'll stay.
I can do it if you are looking to get out of it, I can do it.
I'm not looking to get out of it. It's another time commitment. I'm already heavily involved on another board that's taken ungodly amounts of time this year.
Not that it's much consolation, but this thing's always running. So if you think you may have missed something and you need to go back to it, it's always available to listen to and whatever. So
I don't have a problem, it makes your life easier.
Okay, well, you nominated him, I second it. So all those in favor of Dom being clerk?
Aye.
I,
Any opposed? Dom, you're not gonna oppose? Okay. Do we need any other positions so we all can be something?
That was it.
cheap broken bottle water.
Yeah.
Okay.
So. So what did you get for votes for? I got.
I heard 3 voices.
For Jason?
For Jason was 2 ayes. I had. Is
That's all I heard was 2.
that accurate?
Yes.
For chair, I had 3 ayes, no nays. For clerk, I had 3 yays and no nays.
Did you mean vice chair?
Yes, I did say, I meant vice chair.
Okay.
What did I say?
Chair.
Oh, we got 2 chairs.
Oh, we got
So-
more chairs.
Yeah. So the people that didn't vote are abstentions.
Correct.
So if we go by our new adopted rules, even though the position's for 1 year, so technically it would go to 4/17 of 24, because that would be our
Right.
next meeting in April. That's okay, correct?
This time, basically this time next.
So my problem is that our new rules say the chair shall be elected annually by a majority vote of the board. We didn't have a majority vote, unless you want to vote for yourself, I guess. 'Cause-
Well, I can, I'll vote for Jason. I mean,
Okay,
whatever,
Should we
just to make it,
revote?
just to make it legit. I mean,
well, there was no majority, so I don't, unless you want to call for a vote again for the chairman on the motion and second for Jason.
You want me to do that?
Call for.
Oh, so I'm gonna call a revote for chairman as me, because there was not a
Majority.
majority vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Ah.
That sounds
so
good.
that time you got 7.
Sounded like,
Yeah.
so then we got 4, 0, and 1.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
Motion, we adjourn the meeting.
Hold on, please.
Okay.
So.
You can't do that.
Can I? If I could just get a second.
Yeah.
It wasn't seconded. Public hearing, go ahead.
Just don't want to do that during tomato season.
While we're here, everybody's at least in good spirits.
Oh, good.
Can we get these records back down here, say by Friday? Whatever you need to do, have them done and maybe turn them over, get them back into town hall by Friday. That way there's no more
That's-
stench
I
and
don't-
care.
I don't know what red,
That's kind of pushing it.
Yeah.
Well,
You got 10 years of nobody doing.
I'll say next Friday.
I think.
Why this Friday?
I think that's.
I just,
for what records do we have?
I just didn't know that what you were in
Yeah, I
need
know.
of in the next 10 days. It was just because.
Oh, nothing really. It's just a matter of having a
Time.
proper filing cabinet in there to file this stuff and for him to put the minutes in. That's
I'm good
about
with
it.
that. I'm good with that. I just don't want it coming back about more records
Yeah.
not being in town hall
Right.
2 weeks
Right.
from now at my next
Yeah.
select board hearing.
Take the records that were out back over to the fire station or something?
No, they're still in there.
Oh, so what do you have, what records?
The only records that the
You
zoning,
have that aren't here?
these right here from Donnie Holmes.
Oh, okay.
From
And
his thing and the other thing.
Okay. well,
Those are the
right.
only records I have.
So
So
Okay,
I
those should
I would
be-
say at least 2 weeks to be fair. I mean, you're dealing with a board trying.
Yeah.
He's got 2 folders.
I'm not trying to be the stick
No,
in the
well,
mud here.
I'm going away this whole weekend for an Upper Valley Wilderness Rescue thing. I don't have.
So then
time.
Monday will work.
If you could at least get them in by next Friday,
Yeah.
I'd be more than happy with that.
Yeah,
But
that I
I'm
can
just
do.
trying to get everything consolidated. That way,
Yeah,
no more
I didn't-
stench in the air from anybody else regarding records that aren't here, should
Yeah.
anybody want them.
Yeah.
And without sounding like, I'll be frank here, without sounding like a dick, being out of town, that's kind of what everybody's kind of like, not necessarily you. I'm saying that if the records aren't available and it's a legitimate request, it should be done in a timely fashion. And if the town hall is open,
Right.
that's considered timely fashion.
Well, a timely fashion is also not 2 days from now too. That's not
Right.
timely.
Depending on what the records are and what it entails, how much they
Yeah.
need to go through, 2 days is,
If you got 2 folders there,
There's-
you can go take those out and put them in the,
I could go stick them in there right now, all right, if I want, but.
I'm not saying.
well, no, but they shouldn't be. I agree. They should not be out of the town office,
Right.
I'm just trying to make sure that everybody
playing by the same rules.
playing by the same rules.
Yeah.
That's 100% it. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not trying to About the
But when
confrontation.
moths came out of those cabinets, when I opened the drawers, I don't think anyone's been in there for
Actually,
years, so.
I did look through those
Did you?
shortly after I got appointed, just to see what was there.
Yeah.
And you're right, it was just a mess. And
Yeah. Oh, I cleaned it out. I literally threw a bunch, everything that was duplicates. I kept like maybe 2 of each and I threw all the rest out. Like, there's no reason.
That's
for
fine.
this.
I'm just getting to the party too. So, I mean, I got a lot to catch up on myself.
Well, this is
catch up on
where,
yourself.
this is where I think the selectmen need to stand up to the public a little bit and say, I hear you, but nothing's been done in years. You guys got.
But that's not their fault.
Yeah.
That is not the public's fault. That's
Right,
how,
but they need to give us an acceptable amount of time a little bit to get there.
Well, I
Like
know.
you said, you're new, we're all
See,
new.
if somebody's got $1,000 at home that belongs here at the office, you're not gonna say,
Well,
hey,
that's.
we'll give you a couple of weeks to get that 1,000.
Yeah, no, that I
mean,
understand.
and I'm not, look, I'm not pointing fingers at you.
No, I know,
I'm saying
I'm
this
just
was
saying.
brought up literally last night.
Yep.
Not
No, I
even
know.
24 hours ago.
Yep.
So if there's a stink about records regarding dead people, I think we're gonna have the same stink about
Yeah.
records regarding zoning and
Yeah.
everything else.
Well, just,
And I'm not hassling you on time.
No, I know, I'm just saying,
You
I.
know what? You need 9 days, take 9 days.
so,
One of them.
Well,
But I think that we should do it sooner
Yeah.
rather than later,
Right.
to cover everybody's ass.
you heard my conversation I had, it was like 4 years ago, we got beat up for the treasurer taking.
Yeah.
So, but still, that, we got beat up for that, it was in the book and everything the following year.
Town
And
report.
and you still had stuff going on. So,
I get,
as long
you
as-
got your little
Before we-
snack, I get it, not
before
much
we-
came of it.
so-
I'm
Get
just trying to
heated
not get
and
my
are
snack.
being recorded, I make a motion or that we adjourn our
Okay.
meeting. All those in favor?
Aye.
second.
Approved, 7:02.
So where did you go, the rat?
Jamaica,
That's why.
you probably won't get me back there again.
Wasn't that much fun?
My wife and I have been there a few times, we said, and what I hated was pure poverty money, pure poverty, and pure poverty.
You can't go out alone.
Oh,
Thanks.
stay right in the beaten path, yep, or you'll be beaten,
In the past.
yeah? All the cardboard shacks, literally cardboard shacks.
No, I like it here at home more and more.